This is DD India and you're watching Express News, a program where we bring for you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. President Draupadi Murmu presented the MY Bharat National Service Awards NSS for the year 2022-23 to 40 National Service Scheme volunteers, program officers and units at the Rashtrapati Bhavan on Monday. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar inaugurated the Aravali Summit 2025 a little while ago. The summit is being hosted by the School of International Studies at JNU along with the Ministry of External Affairs and the Chintan Research Foundation. The Aravali Summit is themed India and the World Order, preparing for 2047. It's being organized as part of School of International Studies' 70th anniversary celebrations. The Indian Navy commissioned INS Androth, the second anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft, on Monday at a ceremony at the Naval Dockyard in Visakhapatnam. INS Androth is the second anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft built by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, Kolkata, with 80% indigenous content. Preparations are in full swing for India's 93rd Air Force Day, which will be observed on October 8th. A full dress rehearsal took place as part of the preparations at the Hindon Air Force Station on Monday. India and the European Union will hold the 14th round of Free Trade Agreement or FTA negotiations from Monday in Brussels. The fresh round of India-EU FTA talks will extend over a period of 5 days. Ahead of the talks, India's expanding economic strength and its Make in India initiative are drawing greater interest from European companies. EU President Ursula von der Leyen and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have already set an objective to conclude the deal by the end of 2025. Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh is on a visit to the Maldives. The Defence Secretary met Maldives Defence Minister Ghassan Mahmood in Malé on Monday. They explored arenas circling around enhanced bilateral cooperation for Indian Ocean security. Ministry of Statistics and Programme Implementation will be joining the Global FinTech Fest 2025. The fest is being held in Maharashtra's Mumbai from October 7th to 9th. Next round of ASEAN-India Trade and Goods Agreement Review begins today at Jakarta's ASEAN Secretariat, aiming to boost trade and streamline tariffs. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal is visiting Doha for the meeting of the Qatar-India Joint Commission on Trade and Commerce from 6th to 7th of October. Union Minister Piyush Goyal held a bilateral with Sheikh Faisal bin Sani bin Faisal Al Sani, Minister of Commerce and Industry of Qatar. The pair discussed India-Qatar bilateral trade, reaffirming a commitment to further strengthen the multifaceted partnership. Union Minister Piyush Goyal led a meeting of Qatari and Indian private sector leaders in Doha on Monday, boosting trade, investment and economic ties. The 20th edition of FICCI Higher Education Summit 2025 was organized in New Delhi on Monday. The theme of the summit was Higher Education in a Transforming World, Bridging Borders, Building Futures. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari released the FICCI EY Parthenon Knowledge Report on future-ready campuses, unlocking the power of AI in higher education during the FICCI Higher Education Summit. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath felicitated sanitation workers at a ceremony organized as a part of the Swachhata Abhiyan on Monday. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar inaugurated the 3.6-kilometer Blue Line via 0 Mile today, featuring coaches adorned with Madhubani art. Public operations will start on Tuesday. The Election Commission announced the polling dates for the Bihar Assembly elections on Monday. The two-phase election are on 6th and 11th of November, with counting and results on the 14th of next month. On to business news now. Indian equity indices ended on a strong note, with Nifty above 25,000 mark on October the 6th. The Sensex at the BSE jumped 583 points to settle over 81,500. Indian rupee ended flat at 88 rupees 79 paise against the US dollar on Monday versus Friday's close of 88.78 rupees. Global crude oil prices climbed over 1% after OPEC Plus announced a smaller than expected production hike for November. Brent crude thus rose 80 cents to settle at $65.33 a barrel. Gold prices hit a new record high, crossing $3,900 per ounce as investors flocked to the safe haven metal amid fears of a prolonged US government shutdown and expectations of further Fed rate cuts. Silver followed suit, surging on global exchanges, trading at $48.27 per ounce on COMEX, up 0.6% or 30 cents. Bitcoin surged to a new all-time high, crossing $125,000 today, up nearly 2.7%, reaffirming its dominance as the world's largest cryptocurrency. The Japanese yen weakened sharply against the dollar, its steepest fall in 5 months, as Sanae Takaichi emerges as the frontrunner to become Japan's next prime minister. Paris stock market slipped on Monday as Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu resigned after a month in the job. CAC 40 index of blue chip stocks was down more than 2%. Greece's economy is projected to grow 2.4% next year, driven by strong tourism, domestic demand and investment, according to the country's 2026 draft budget plan. Israel and Hamas are set to hold indirect negotiations in Egypt on Monday amid hopes for a possible agreement on ending the Gaza conflict based on Donald Trump's ceasefire plan. US President Donald Trump has promoted a 20-point plan aimed at ending the fighting in Gaza, securing the release of remaining hostages and defining the territory's future. Israel and Hamas have agreed to parts of the plan. Hamas on Friday accepted the hostage release and several other elements, but sidestepped the contentious points, including calls for its disarmament, which it has long rejected. Welcoming Hamas's response, Trump said he believed Hamas showed that it was ready for a lasting peace agreement. He told Israel to stop bombing Gaza immediately. Speaking to reporters ahead of the Israel-Hamas talks, Donald Trump sounded an optimistic note, saying he and a lot of countries surrounding Israel have had some very good meetings with Hamas. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the responsibility lies with Hamas to fully accept the peace plan. Ahead of the conflict's second anniversary on October 7th, Israelis gathered at the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, collectively praying for the return of hostages. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky slammed Western allies for their lack of a real response to ongoing Russian attacks on his country. The Rosneft-controlled Tuapse oil refinery in Russia's southern Krasnodar region was targeted by Ukrainian drones overnight, causing a fire at a building for security staff, as per regional authorities on Monday. Ukraine's overnight strikes hit Belgorod, damaging power lines, leaving 5,400 without electricity. Governor Gladkov reported that power was restored to nearly 34,000 consumers as attacks disrupted Russian border regions. Further, Russia's defense ministry reported intercepting 251 Ukrainian drones overnight amid intensified cross-border attacks. In the US, Trump officials warned of mass layoffs and GDP hits as shutdown persisted, with no talks despite stalled CR bill. Democrats have demanded Affordable Care Act subsidy extension as shutdown hits the 6th day. Trump has planned permanent federal worker firings. So Donald Trump said that federal worker cuts are taking place right now amid the Affordable Care Act subsidy impasse, as unions have sued over Trump's plan to fire many federal workers in this shutdown. The US Senate is set to vote on the failed House Continuing Resolution and Affordable Care Act bill, needing 60 votes amid 53-47 GOP edge. Only 3 Democrats cross the aisle as failure looms. In France, new Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu and his government resigned hours after Lecornu announced his cabinet lineup in a major deepening of France's political crisis. The far-right national rally in France has immediately urged President Emmanuel Macron to call a snap parliamentary election. The hard-left France Unbowed said that Macron himself must go. The death toll in Indonesia's East Java Islamic boarding school collapse has risen to 54. The rescuers are probing shoddy construction as at least 13 students are still missing. The announcements for Nobel Prizes have begun. The announcements will continue through October 13th, spotlighting global scientific breakthroughs. The 2025 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded to Mary A. Brancow, Fred Ramsdell and Shimon Sakaguchi for their discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance. We are heading for a short break here on Express News. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's resume. On to weather updates now. In West Bengal's Darjeeling district, the death toll in the devastating landslides has risen to 20. Rescue teams are continuing operations amid the challenging terrain. Flood fury persists in Bihar's Kosi region as rivers flow above danger levels. Road and rail traffic remains disrupted due to waterlogging. Heavy rainfall lashed Srinagar, submerging several parts of the city and sending temperatures dipping sharply. All schools across Jammu division remained closed on October 6th and will remain closed on October 7th following IMD's forecast of heavy to very heavy rainfall. A fresh spell of snow has blanketed Gulmarg, Razdam Top and the Peet Panjal range, transforming the higher reaches into a winter wonderland. Himachal Pradesh's Rohtang Pass and Dhauladhar ranges received the season's first snowfall, bringing a sharp drop in minimum temperatures. One hiker died while 100 others have been rescued as they were trapped by the weather near the eastern face of Mount Everest. In Nepal, heavy rains triggered landslides and flash floods, killing at least 49 people and damaging vital infrastructure. Typhoon Matmo has slammed into China's coastal provinces, bringing destructive winds and torrential downpours. Flood conditions are escalating in central Thailand's Ayutthaya and Ang Thong provinces as the Chao Phraya Dam sustains a high discharge rate, impacting tens of thousands of homes. Thousands of devotees gathered at Triveni Sangam in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj to take a holy dip and perform rituals on Sharad Purnima, which marks the full moon this month. Gujarat's Vadodara hosted the 25th annual Divyang Garba Mahotsav for differently abled participants. The festival is organized every year to promote inclusion and joy. The Marwar festival in Jodhpur celebrated Rajasthan's rich art and culture, highlighting the Border Security Force's camel contingent, marching from Ghantaghar area to the Umaid Stadium. Bui Xuan Pai Awards 2025 honored musician Tran Thien. The awards celebrate deep love for Hanoi through art and ideas. Cam Thun village located in Da Nang city in Vietnam has been included in Forbes 2025 list of the 50 most beautiful villages in the world. The village is recognized for its enchanting natural beauty and unique riverine culture. Vietnam's ancient city of Hue is celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival, offering visitors a glimpse of traditional festivities. The event features lantern parades and music performances. In Vietnam's Can She weaving village, artisans continue to preserve the age-old craft of weaving bamboo, rattan and plastic baskets used by farmers and fruit vendors. Vietnam's Hanoi rolled out electric garbage carts to ease workers' physical burden and boost waste collection efficiency across the city. Across Vietnam, young artisans are reviving traditional craftsmanship, recreating heritage lanterns and crafting miniature versions of iconic cultural items. High-end smart products are driving a new wave of consumer demand amid China's 8-day combined National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival holidays. In China, people are celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival with creative moon cakes, blending local flavors and cultural symbols. Shanghai Wild Animal Park held birthday celebrations for 8-year-old giant pandas Shui Bao and Quan Jin and 6-year-old Kang Kang. Chinese scientists analyzing samples from China's Chang'e E6 mission have uncovered a surprising thermal divide. The far side's mantle appears significantly cooler, with the basaltic rocks crystallizing from lava at around 1100 degrees Celsius. Hong Kong will step up patrols at a UNESCO Global Geopark for the rest of the National Day Golden Week break after tourists flooded the place with some trampling on corals and starting fires. Vietnam is scaling up co-processing in cement kilns to tackle non-recyclable plastic waste, reduce coal dependence and advance its circular economy and net zero 2050 goals. On to some entertainment news now. Indian film Kantara Chapter 1 continues its unstoppable run at the box office since its worldwide release. The film has earned over 235 crore rupees gross collection in the opening weekend. Veteran Bollywood actor Deepak Tijori bagged his 7th Best Actor award for his powerful performance in the short film Echoes of Us at the Barcelona International Film Festival. Actors Kajal Agrawal and Shreyas Talpade have completed shooting for their upcoming film The India Story. The film is set to release in theatres in 2026. The trailer of Ek Divane Ki Divaniyat, starring Harshvardhan Rane and Sonam Bajwa, is set to be unveiled on October 8th. The film will hit theatres worldwide this Diwali on October 21st. Bollywood actress Sharvari Wagh has signed filmmaker Ali Abbas Zafar's upcoming yet untitled action romance, in which she will be starring opposite actor Ahan Pandey. Actor Karan Tucker has reprised his role as Farooq Ali in the much-anticipated latest season of the espionage thriller Special Ops 2. After a gap of 3 decades, veteran actor Pankaj Kapoor is making a comeback to Punjabi cinema with Ravi De Kande. The film is set to release on 10th of October. American DJ Sarah Laundrie joined David Guetta as the second headliner of the Sunburn Festival 2025. This is Sarah Laundrie's first ever appearance in India and at the Sunburn Festival. Guitarist and co-founder of the English band Oasis, Paul Bonehead Arthur, has announced a temporary break from the band's reunion tour after being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Singers Lana Del Rey, Subin and actor Coleman Domingo attended the Valentino Paris Fashion Week show on Sunday. And next we have sports news. The organisers of the Lanka Premier League announced that Indian cricketers will feature in the tournament for the first time when its 6th edition begins on December 1st. The 6th edition of the Lanka Premier League will run from 1st to 23rd of December, featuring 24 days of action-packed T20 cricket. India beat Pakistan in the ICC Women's World Cup in Colombo to maintain a perfect record at 12-0 despite a glitchy performance. Pakistan batter Sidra Amin has been reprimanded for breaching level 1 of the ICC Code of Conduct during their Women's Cricket World Cup match against India in Colombo. Former West Indies World Cup winning player Bernard Julian passed away at the age of 75 in Trinidad and Tobago. He featured in 24 tests and 12 ODIs. In badminton, Lakshya Sen will continue his quest for the first title this season at the Arctic Open Super Badminton Tournament beginning in Finland on Tuesday. While Kidambi Srikanth and other Indian shuttlers aim to make deep runs at the Arctic Open Super Badminton Tournament. Indian badminton veteran HS Pranoy will miss the upcoming European leg of the 2025 BWF World Tour in October due to an injury. India Under-17 women's football team has been named for the 2026 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers scheduled from October 13th to 17th in Kyrgyz Republic. The 12th edition of the World Para-Athletics Championships concluded in New Delhi. Indian athletes finished 10th overall with a record haul of 22 medals. Defending champion Yannick Sinner retired from the Shanghai Masters midway after suffering a leg injury in his third-round match. Serbian tennis player Novak Djokovic battles through to the Shanghai Masters with a 4-6, 7-5, 6-3 win over qualifier Yannick Hanfmann. American tennis player Amanda Anisimova brushed off a second-set stumble to beat Linda Noskova 6-0, 2-6, 6-2 in the China Open final, winning her second Women's Tennis Association title. Manchester City's Erling Haaland scored his 9th Premier League goal of the season to earn Manchester City a 1-0 victory at Brentford. And Sevilla thrashed Barcelona 4-1, ending the champions' unbeaten start in La Liga and denying it an opportunity to return to the top of the table. And that's it in this edition of Express News. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.